In life, there's one word, a mere 2 letters long, that holds the power to transform everything. It's the word we all struggle with. No. It's simple, yet it can shape the very course of our existence. We often shy away from it, hesitate, or even say yes when we know we should say no. But here's the key. Each time we say yes to something that doesn't truly matter, we are unknowingly saying no to something that truly does. In today's world, we are overwhelmed by distractions. Our time gets pulled in every direction, overwhelmed by obligations, societal pressures, and that ever-present fear of missing out. But the ancient Stoics, those wise philosophers of old, knew the value of saying no. They believed that in order to live with purpose, we must master this art. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic minds and the ruler of the Roman Empire, understood this well. He once said, "You see how few things you have to do to live a satisfying and reverent life." He knew that by eliminating the unnecessary, we could truly focus on what really matters. That's the very message we're exploring today. How to say no to the time suckers and yes to a life of meaning. Stay with me, because by the end of this conversation, you'll not only walk away with practical strategies, but also a new mindset. One that will help you regain control over your life and focus on what's truly important. It's not about shutting out opportunities, but about making room for the things that truly matter. So, let's get started. Step 1. Build self-awareness and know your purpose. The first step in mastering the art of saying no is developing self-awareness. Without it, it's nearly impossible to confidently say no when you need to. The Stoics believed that self-awareness is the foundation of a purposeful life. After all, how can you know when to decline if you don't know what truly matters to you? Seneca, another great Stoic, famously said, "The soul which has no fixed purpose in life is lost. To be everywhere is to be nowhere." Think about that for a moment. How often do we find ourselves pulled in a million directions, trying to meet every demand, and only to feel empty and drained at the end of the day? If we don't have a clear purpose, everything feels equally important, and as a result, we spread ourselves too thin. Knowing your purpose is like a compass. It guides your decisions and helps you focus your time and energy on what aligns with your values. Whether it's nurturing relationships, achieving career milestones, or simply living a life in line with your principles, your purpose is unique to you, and it gives you the clarity to know what to prioritize. One powerful way to build self-awareness is through journaling, a practice the Stoics embraced. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal daily, reflecting on his actions, his thoughts, and his intentions. It forces you to slow down and evaluate whether your daily decisions are aligned with your greater purpose. Are you investing time in things that support your values, or are you being distracted by what doesn't matter? Another part of self-awareness is understanding why you often say yes to things that don't serve you. Sometimes we say yes out of fear of disappointing others or fear of missing out. Society has conditioned us to think that being busy equals being productive, but the Stoics would argue that it's a trap. It's not about pleasing others, it's about focusing on what we can control, our decisions, actions, and mindset. When you say no to things that don't align with your purpose, you're taking back control of your life. As Marcus Aurelius once reminded himself, concentrate every minute like a Roman, like a man, on doing what is in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness. When you know what truly matters, distractions lose their hold on you, and you can give your full attention to what's in front of you. Step 2. Cultivate self-discipline. At the heart of Stoicism is the idea that we should focus on what is within our control. As Epictetus said, some things are in our control and others are not. How often do we waste energy trying to manage things beyond our control, other people's reactions, external events, while neglecting the one thing we can control, our own behavior and choices? This principle is crucial when it comes to saying no. Why do we often struggle to say no? It's usually because we fear the consequences, disappointing others, missing out, or being judged. But the Stoics teach us to release that anxiety. We can't control how others react, but we can control how we respond. Self-discipline isn't about sheer willpower. It's about making deliberate choices. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Do every act of your life as though it were the last." This doesn't mean we should live in a constant state of urgency, but it does mean that every decision is significant. By treating each choice with intention and mindfulness, we start to build discipline. When you say no, you are not simply turning down an invitation or an opportunity. You are saying yes to something more meaningful, your purpose, your values, your focus. This discipline becomes even more powerful when you choose to say no to distractions, even when they seem enticing. Imagine you're deep in work, focused on something important, and a friend invites you to an event. The pull to say yes is strong. You don't want to disappoint them, and the event sounds fun. But if it doesn't align with your priorities, saying no becomes an act of self-discipline. You're choosing to honor your deeper purpose, whether it's progressing on a project, spending time with loved ones, or simply taking time for yourself. In conclusion, mastering the art of saying no is not about rejecting the world. It's about prioritizing what matters most and aligning your life with your values. It's about living with intention and using your time wisely. When you build self-awareness and discipline, you create space for what truly fulfills you, and that is the life you deserve. Self-discipline isn't just about denying yourself pleasure, it's about maintaining balance. Too often, we mistakenly think that saying no is about sacrifice. In truth, it's a way of protecting what matters most to you, your time, energy, and focus. By learning to say no, you're not only refusing distractions, you're creating space for the things that align with your true purpose. Seneca, a great Stoic philosopher, wisely said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Without the discipline to say no to the things that don't serve you, you risk wasting your most precious resource, time. One of the biggest challenges to self-discipline is impulse control. How many times have you agreed to something on a whim, only to regret it later? Stoicism teaches us to create a buffer between stimulus and response. Before you agree to anything, take a moment to reflect. Does this align with my purpose? Is this truly worth my time and energy? Epictetus, another Stoic, often compared mental discipline to an athlete training their body. Just as an athlete builds strength through consistent practice, we must train ourselves to say no, consistently and with intention, to build our mental fortitude. At first, it will feel uncomfortable. Saying no isn't easy. But as with any skill, the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Over time, you develop the mental muscle to prioritize what truly matters without hesitation. Fortitude, the ability to endure discomfort, is also essential in Stoic self-discipline. Saying no can sometimes mean disappointing others or turning down seemingly appealing opportunities that don't align with your long-term goals. Yet, the Stoics understood that true strength lies in enduring these discomforts for the sake of something greater. As Epictetus said, "No great thing is created suddenly." The path to self-mastery requires time and perseverance. Above all, self-discipline is a form of self-respect. When you say no to things that don't serve your well-being, you're honoring your time, your energy, and your purpose. You're affirming that your goals and values are worth protecting. It's not about restricting your life. It's about freeing yourself from unnecessary burdens so that you can focus on what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius, who governed an empire and led armies, still understood the importance of time. He was constantly reminding himself and others of how to use it wisely. He famously wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." This powerful reminder highlights how fleeting life is. It's not the shortness of time that gets us, but how often we waste it. The Stoics, particularly through the concept of memento mori, remember you must die, used the awareness of mortality to fuel their focus on what truly mattered. Why is this so hard for us to grasp? We often fall into the trap of thinking we have endless tomorrows. We promise ourselves we'll get to that important project later, or we'll focus on what really matters when things slow down. But the reality is that life moves fast, and if we're not careful, we let distractions consume our time, leaving little for what truly aligns with our purpose. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. From social media notifications to endless work demands, we are bombarded with interruptions that pull us away from meaningful work. But as Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. We waste time not because we don't have enough, but because we often fail to use it wisely. The Stoics believe the key to a meaningful life lies in focusing your time and energy on what matters most to you. The first step in mastering time is prioritization. Ask yourself, what truly contributes to my purpose, growth, and happiness? When you start seeing time as a limited resource, you realize that saying yes to one thing often means saying no to another. This is why learning to say no is so important. It's a way of guarding your time for the things that truly matter. Seneca's essay on the shortness of life emphasizes that life is long enough if we know how to use it. He wrote, "People are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are most wasteful." We often protect our money and possessions carefully, yet we squander our time without second thought. Time is far more valuable than any material possession, and we should treat it as such. To apply this to daily life, it's about making small, deliberate decisions. Every time you're faced with a request or opportunity, ask yourself, is this worth my time? Does it contribute to my purpose? This could mean saying no to harmless seeming activities like mindlessly scrolling through social media or binge watching TV. While these may seem like small decisions, they add up. Every hour spent on things that don't align with your goals is an hour you'll never get back. Marcus Aurelius also advised living in the present, focusing on what's in front of you, and letting go of unnecessary distractions. He wrote, "Concentrate every minute, like a Roman, on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness." Giving your full attention to the task at hand, rather than letting your mind wander, will help you minimize distractions and make better use of your time. Saying no isn't easy. Often we feel obligated to say yes because we don't want to disappoint others or miss out on opportunities. But remember this, every time you say yes to something unimportant, you're saying no to something that truly matters, whether that's family, personal growth, health, or peace of mind. The Stoics teach us that we can't be everything to everyone. We must prioritize and protect our time if we want to live a meaningful life. Self-discipline, at its core, requires the ability to say no to distractions and guard your time. As you begin practicing this, you'll find your life becoming more focused, more productive, and ultimately more fulfilling. A key to this practice is the magic question: is this necessary? Marcus Aurelius encouraged us to ask this question at every moment. It's a powerful practice to help you filter out distractions and stay aligned with your true purpose. By pausing to ask, is this necessary? Before committing to anything, whether it's a task, favor, meeting, or even checking your phone, you allow yourself to reflect on whether this action adds value to your life. If it doesn't, it's simply a distraction. The Stoics understood that life is full of temptations to stray from the path of virtue and purpose. They called these distractions indifference. The key to living meaningfully is to focus only on what is essential and avoid being consumed by the unnecessary. In life, there are countless distractions, many of which aren't inherently bad, but they can pull us away from what truly matters. If we let them, everyday obligations such as social events, trivial tasks, or even the pursuit of wealth and status can easily veer us off course if they aren't aligned with our core values and goals. The key to avoiding this drift is simple but powerful. Ask yourself, is this necessary? This practice is rooted in Stoic philosophy, where deliberate choice and control over how we spend our time are central to living a meaningful life. Imagine this: you're invited to a networking event. At first glance, it seems like a fantastic opportunity, but upon reflection, you realize you've been working nonstop all week and plan to spend this evening with your family or simply resting. Before reflexively saying yes, pause and ask, is this truly necessary? Will attending this event contribute to your growth, or will it leave you exhausted and drained? If it doesn't align with your personal or professional aspirations, it's perfectly okay to decline. Saying no is not a rejection, it's an assertion of your priorities. Now, picture you're working on a critical project and your phone buzzes with a notification. Even though you're deep in focus, the temptation to check it is strong. But once, again ask, is this necessary? Will responding to this notification help you meet your goals or improve your well-being, or will it disrupt your concentration and waste your time? By pausing and asking this question, you're not just protecting your productivity, you're building mindfulness and focus, shaping your life around intentional choices rather than distractions. The magic of asking, is this necessary, isn't confined to just productivity. It extends to living a life of purpose and clarity. It encourages you to stop doing things because of obligation or societal pressure, and instead, empowers you to make decisions based on your values. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, living in accordance with nature means living in alignment with your true self. This Stoic principle teaches us to strip away the superfluous distractions and focus on what truly matters, on living a life of virtue, wisdom, and meaning. But let's be real, saying no isn't always easy. We often fear letting others down, missing out, or being judged. The Stoics, however, remind us that we cannot control how others react to our choices, only how we respond. By asking yourself, is this necessary? You not only safeguard your time, but also practice apatheia, a Stoic mindset of emotional resilience in the face of external pressures. It's a way to stay centered, regardless of the distractions that come your way. Knowing what's important to you, your values and purpose, is the foundation for making decisions with integrity. Without clarity on what you stand for, it's easy to get swept up in commitments, relationships, or activities that don't serve your higher purpose. Seneca wisely said, "If a man does not know to which port he sails, no wind is favorable." In other words, if you don't have a clear direction, you'll never know which opportunities to seize and which to reject. The path to clarity begins within. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself to look inward, writing in his meditations, "Within is the fountain of good, and it will ever bubble up if thou wilt ever dig." This internal reflection is where you uncover your core values, whether it's family, personal growth, integrity, or helping others. Once you identify these guiding principles, they become your filter for every decision you make. Does an opportunity or obligation align with your values? If not, it's probably not worth your time. The Stoics believe that living in harmony with your values is essential for a fulfilling life. Epictetus encouraged us to create our own philosophy, our personal guiding principles, which makes it easier to navigate the world and make choices aligned with our higher goals. For instance, if you're striving toward a personal goal, like starting a business or mastering a skill, and a friend invites you to a week-long trip, your values and priorities will help you decide. Without clarity, it might be easy to say yes. But if you value discipline or personal growth, you'll see that staying on track with your goals is far more important than a temporary distraction. But here's the catch. Staying true to your values can be difficult. It might mean missing out on fun or disappointing others. It may even challenge societal norms and expectations. But as Epictetus said, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By saying no to distractions, you are showing self-respect and asserting control over your life. It's a form of self-discipline that ensures you're living according to what truly matters to you, not to what others think you should do. So how can you practice this? Start by setting aside time each day or week to reflect on what truly matters to you. This could be through journaling, meditation, or simply sitting in silence. Ask yourself, what do I value most? What kind of person do I want to be? What are my most important goals? The clearer you become on these questions, the easier it will be to make decisions that align with your values and confidently say no to the distractions that don't serve you. Living with intention means making choices that reflect the person you want to become and the life you want to create. It's about saying yes to what nourishes your soul and drives your purpose, while saying no to what drains your energy. The Stoics believed this was the path to true fulfillment, and I couldn't agree more. So take time to figure out what matters to you and commit to living in alignment with those values every single day. In the end, life is too short to waste on things that don't matter. Every time you say no to distractions, you are saying yes to a life of meaning, purpose, and integrity. Protect your time, guard your energy, and stay true to your path.